Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So it is Monday here in Australia, and so we all know what that means. It is time to take a look at the most recent Bitcoin weekly candle close. Now, the charts are actually shaping up to look really interesting today, with the most recent close actually signaling the potential for a short time frame correction. So let's dive into the video and talk about the macro trajectory of Bitcoin, the short time frame triggers, and the potential for this next week to become the week of the breakout. Before we get into all that though, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving right into the charts, let's go ahead and take a look at our most recent weekly candle close. So it was a very bullish week, no doubt about it. Bitcoin rallied about 3% over the week period and through some really strong levels of resistance that we needed to push past on those daily and shorter time frame charts, namely $65,000. So it has been a great week, and we went up all the way to 66,000 at some point. But from our most recent weekly candle close, we can see that Bitcoin is actually rejected here on the weekly time frame off this really high time frame crucial level of resistance here, and that dates back all the way to November 2021, being the candle close for the all-time high. So that liquidity zone over here acts now as a really large range where we can expect strong selling behavior. And it is a change of character level, wherein pushing above there, we can expect a bullish continuation. So if we take a look at the recent weekly candle, we can see that we did actually flash into that liquidity zone, but the candle close itself actually pushed us back down and under that range of resistance. So it was a failed retest of resistance, and so we have rejected off that on a weekly time frame, suggesting now that on the short time frame, because of this rejection, we are due to see some sort of short time frame correction. Now, this points out our next segment of bullish price action quite clearly, right? So over the next week, if we are able to push into this change of character level or this liquidity zone and get a weekly candle close above that level here at $69,000, we have broken above our 6-month-long channel of consolidation, and we also move on to retest the all-time high back in 2021, that 69K massive level of resistance. Now, pushing above there, we move into this next change of character level over here to retest the new Bitcoin all-time high at $73,000, wherein again, getting a weekly candle close above, we can expect some sort of parabolic behavior where Bitcoin goes on to create a new all-time high and so on and so forth, potentially moving on to fulfill the measured move of our descending channel formation and taking us to about $85,000. However, what concerns us right now is not the potential for future parabolic behavior, but the actual short time frame correction that we might see here as a result of this rejection that we've had here on a weekly time frame. So whether or not this rejection ends up leading to a weekly red candle, potentially a higher time frame sort of downward trajectory, or a short time frame correction and then a reversal to result in that bullish week closing above 69,000, that is what we need to know immediately. So let's move on to the short time frame and talk about the sort of triggers that we have there and what you need to be looking out for in terms of either a small time frame or a higher time frame reversal. Before we get into any more analysis, guys, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, BTC, where you can get 15% off all of your trading fees and up to $5,500 in sign-up rewards when you create your free account using the link down in my description box.
BTC is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account.
So starting off our more shorter time frame analysis with the daily chart, I do really quickly want to touch on something that I spoke about in my last video. So in this most recent week of relatively bullish price action, what we really needed to see was a clearance of this 65K level of resistance. And we know it's a level of resistance through historical price action and also through this shorter time frame structure that we've had here in the last 2 to 3 months, this downtrend that we had experienced and most recently broken out of. So in the breakout, the first thing that Bitcoin needed to do was clear above that prior high in the downtrend, and in doing so, flip the structural pattern here on the daily chart to be a bullish one as we form a higher high. And in doing that, we have essentially established this 65 to 64k horizontal level here as a base of support. So after rallying above, I do think it's quite normal that we see some sort of short time frame correction to retest this level of significance as a base of support. And in successfully bouncing from there, we can expect a degree of bullish continuation to retest the range high for that structure, right, that downtrend being $70,000. So that takes us to go on to break out of the 6-month long channel of consolidation, right, that upper trend line that we have here, as well as moving Bitcoin on the weekly chart, if we do end up closing at $70,000, into this liquidity zone over here ranging from $70,000 to $73,000. So essentially what that tells us is while we hold this base here from 64 to 65k, the overall macro trajectory is still bullish, despite the fact that we have had a short time frame correction, right? So even if we go down to retest $64,000 as that base of support, if we do hold there and bounce, we can expect that bullish continuation upwards. And we do have some support for this analysis as well, as if we take a look at the 200-day moving average, this blue sort of wavy trend line that we have going through the chart. So 200-day moving average has historically represented the bull market uptrend, right, or the moving average that suggests the overall high time frame trajectory of Bitcoin. And in losing the 200-day moving average over here back in July, and also losing the bull market uptrend, ever since then, rejections and corrections below that 200-day moving average have resulted in quite a steep bearish continuation. And if we take a look at where that 200-day moving average is sitting right now, it has perfect confluence with that horizontal base of support that we need to be holding here on the daily chart at $64,000. Now, if we zoom in just a little bit further onto the 4-hour chart, we can see that the very first warning sign that we're going to have for a potential correction here, or a continuation first of all into this range on the daily time frame at 64,000, is the loss of the uptrend that we have here on the 4-hour chart that has ranged over the last 3-week period. So it starts all the way back from the retest over here at 52,500, and we have currently got 3 points of confluence and retests with confirmation from our RSI as well. So currently it does look like we are breaking down from that trend line on the RSI. We still have 2 hours left for the candle close, but if we do get that breakdown on that candle close there, that is potential leading indication that we are going to see a breakdown over here. So let's talk about that breakdown first of all. So moving into a slightly smaller time frame on the hourly chart, what that breakdown is going to look like is, first of all, on this hourly chart, a loss of 64.4 thousand. That is the horizontal confluence level that we have here on the 4-hour time, on the 1-hour time frame for this diagonal level of support over here. And in losing 64.4, we move into this liquidity range here on the 4-hour time frame, ending at $64,000. So that is that key level that we were looking out for on the daily chart as well. Now, falling below $64,000 on a 4-hour chart means that Bitcoin is very likely to then going to see a bearish continuation to this next level of support here, and the prior low in our uptrend being $62.6 to $63,000. We can see the same sort of level over here on the shorter time frame, 62.5 and $63,000, right? So that's that bearish correction that we are going to see on the shorter time frame. Now, these are levels of support, right? So while Bitcoin has seen a short time frame correction, these are all levels here where we can look for a potential reversal. And in that reversal, it is the daily candle close here on that at that 64k level that has that significance, right? So even if we do get that dip below, it is the candle close on this daily chart that really does determine whether or not we're going to see a correction past that 63k point. So what would that look like? For example, if we go back to the 4-hour chart, we can see the next level of support that we have right below that level is here at 61.6, or that 62k range to 61.3 down here, and we can see that mapped out again on the 4-hour chart using this historical range of resistance as well as the liquidity sinks indicator. Now below that, that is when we start to look quite critical, because on the daily chart, we have gone back down to retest the midline of our macro descending channel structure. And we know, guys, from historical price action that below that midline, we have a much lower probability of getting a range high retest in comparison to a range low. Right, and I won't go into all that because, you know, that is really, really far away. There are lots of levels of support, as I've just spoken about, you know, defending Bitcoin from reaching those lower levels. But keep in mind, on the short time frame, those are the key trigger points that we have here. Now, in terms of bullish continuation, so say we go back down here to 64.4 or even $64,000 on the 4-hour time frame, and we see a reversal. The first thing that we need to see in order to get a bullish continuation here is a push above 66,453 on the hourly chart. That is that wick there that we saw on the weekly chart that dipped into that upper liquidity zone over here, right? So to get that bullish continuation, the first thing we need to see is an hourly close above that upper buy side liquidity level. Clearing above that, we can expect that first leg up to $70,000. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to BitUnext to get 15% off all of your trading fees. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!